It's the NFL on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Niners and the Titans, and it's coming up next.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the San Francisco 49ers and the Tennessee Titans. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Hey, let's go.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from Nashville. Taken at the goal line. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. It's picked up by the Titans. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. It's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is. But to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all week. From the time they start game planning for this one, remember, going into hostile territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite.
A first down carry for Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Tannehill. Open man, Westbrook-Akine. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Tannehill. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution because he realized he's in field goal range, no sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
They'll run. It's Henry. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. Derrick Henry denied here on 4th down. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. So, Charles, they wanted 7 on that opening drive. They didn't want to settle for a field goal.
Felt like a tone setter. You know, that's what they were looking for because A lot of teams, they'll march it downfield, and when they kick the field goal, it almost feels disappointing, doesn't it? You have a nice drive. I think this team decided, guess what? No matter what, we're going for the 6, trying to put those points on the board and set them back on their heels.
But unfortunately, that mentality did not work out. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. They had a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. McCaffrey on the counter. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Purdy with it on 3rd and long. And that's complete to McCaffrey. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
On 2nd and 9, Purdy. Open man is Juwan Jennings. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Purdy now to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Oh, look at the juke. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. A gain of 4, not enough, and it looks like punt time on their opening drive as it's 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
On 4th down, the Niners trot out Mitch Wishnowski to punt the football. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever's in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. Here's Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Tannehill. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. They'll look to throw. That's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on to punt. Back deep, Ray McLeod. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Back out there comes the 49ers offense, ready for their 2nd drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Purdy looking to throw on 1st down here. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down. Purdy looking to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Out of the pistol, McCaffrey, a little juke. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
From the 38, Purdy. And his throw here's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and pick it up with McCaffrey. That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. He'll get 17 on that one, and the Niners have a first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. That one, and he coughed it up. It's picked up by the Titans. And this one will be brought back to the 22. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery in this first quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete to Treylon Burks. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Working with a 2nd and 3. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Tannehill. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Tannehill now to throw. It's complete. Burks. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Tannehill on target to Burks. First down, Tennessee.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Back to throw, Tannehill. And this one is incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
2nd and 10. Now Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Tannehill throwing again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, this might very well have been 4-down territory, but that's not going to matter now. They get a nice throw there on 3rd down, and they're able to keep the drive going.
Henry up the middle. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Tannehill. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. To throw is Tannehill. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 25-yard line. 3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 4 coming up. Inside handoff, Henry. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that play on any down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. That's complete right around the 8. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Tannehill. And it's a Titans touchdown. From 4 yards out. And the Titans post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And he won't quite make it to the 25. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. Last time out, remember, they fumbled the football. That led to the touchdown. And, Charles, they were in the red zone, so that's a backbreaker. They got to try to pick up the pieces here on this drive.
Yeah, and I actually started to do the math here, so be patient with me. 12-point swing is the way I calculate it, because not only did they drop the ball in the red zone, they watched the opponent score a touchdown right after that. So their goal, have a drive here and try and get some of those points back.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st down, Purdy. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down. Kevin Byard, the Middle Tennessee Blue Raider, gets the sack. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And they decided to go with the safety blitz there. And look, if that gets picked up, quarterback really has the advantage then, because he'll have more time to throw the football and some wide open space. But when it doesn't, that's a guy who gets a free run into the backfield, and oftentimes the QB ends up on his backside, as he did there.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Purdy. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
The Niners on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Here's Purdy. And the pressure gets to him again. Roger McCreary. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it'll be Titan football. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Out of the gun, he'll throw. Going for the deep ball. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. On the move to his left. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Decent run, maybe hoping for a little bit more. It does, though, set up 3rd and manageable.
And every play that's run, if it's blocked perfectly and executed perfectly, it's set up to go for a touchdown, right? But I like the way you described that one. Just get into a 3rd and manageable, nice decision-making, and took care of the football.
Tannehill on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9. Purdy. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Oh, I came to my feet on that one. I thought he was getting close to breaking that one big, but in the end, give some credit to the defense, finding a way to get to him and forcing a 3rd down.
On third down, it's Purdy. Completes it to Samuel. And he is going to have a 49ers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Up the gut, McCaffrey. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Purdy. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Play action, now Purdy. Got a man, that's Ayuk. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. Nifty move. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Shotgun now with Purdy. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. They've now produced 3-yard gains on 3 straight plays. Leads us to 4th down.
Oh, my, that's a heck of a tackle right there on 3rd down because they had to swing it out to the back and hope that he could make a play. But let's face it, in order for him to be there and be in that position, in order to make that play, he had to read his keys and not be fooled. Excellent job in the open field.
Here we go with McCaffrey, and he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown. Christian McCaffrey. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Niners' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Well, this defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Tannehill on first down. Open man, Westbrook-Akine. And they'll employ the jumbo set now on 2nd and 1. Now it's Tannehill. Caught by his tight end, Wesco. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A toss right to Henry. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Coming through that time and stopping him for a loss was Drake Jackson. Nice play.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Tannehill. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. He gets this one to Burks. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Tannehill. He finds his man, complete. That's Phillips. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, That ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. To the air again, Tannehill.
That's complete to Westbrook-Akine.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, Tannehill. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
Whatever it takes, I'll get it. This playmaker step up. Like that. Set it up. It's all about, Coach. Go, man. It's all about.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Tannehill, he finds his man, complete. It's Phillips.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. Touchdown!
Chigakakro as the first half is winding down. And the Titans have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So the potential could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Now for the point after. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we've reached halftime here in Nashville, the Music City, with the Titans out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Niners in that first half. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. And meanwhile, for the Titans, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far.
The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
Vanderbilt's own Oren Burks had the tackle defensively.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He continues to deliver a first down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence, because how do you cover? Do you go with the bigger guy to try and use size? Can you try and go with the quicker guy and sometimes even get out quick there? Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Now a first down throw, Tannehill. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. They'll go option to the short side. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper.
Now that's what he can do, when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop him.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On second down, here's Henry.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
17 yards on that play for the Titans.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Phillips.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? Okay, so the personal foul penalty. And those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
Out of the gun, Tannehill. And it's a Titans touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Ryan Tannehill,
And the Titans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fields it right around the goal line.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half.
Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Here's Purdy.
That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Throwing here, Purdy. Open man is Ayuk, complete. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Purdy off the play fake.
Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down.
Purdy.
That's going to be caught by Samuel.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
That pattern in
scheme was well defensed on third down. He tried to just sprint from one side of the field to the other, and they got it to him quickly. But no chance at yards after the catch there, and they stopped him short.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that is no good. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game. Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
The time again to see what Ryan Tannehill and the Titans can do.
He really continues to pick apart this defense. Last drive, perfect, and it culminated in his 3rd touchdown pass.
As long as we've been doing this, how many times has a player in this type of a zone described the game as really slowed down?
Yep.
So right now, instead of warp speed,
Snail's pace.
Oh, snail's pace for him, and he can do whatever he wants. Feels like he has all the time in the world to throw the ball, and his offensive line has been giving him that.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
66 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
Yeah, and this defense has had its share of problems getting guys to the ground, and here's another example. They never should have allowed this play to gain as many yards as it did, but poor tackling early in the play led to big yardage after the fact.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
On first down, it's Tannehill. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And they'll get him down inside the red zone at the 14. It's also a gain of 14. First down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Tannehill now on the option left. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now a handoff to Henry. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Tannehill.
And that's knocked away and incomplete.
That's not the first time they've gone his way on this drive, and they were obviously keyed into him because they were there to help break that pass up.
On 4th down, Mike Vrabel says, let's get 3 out of this. He sends on the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And this one is right through. And they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 82 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. Able to avoid him. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Back to throw, Purdy.
It's caught inside the 25. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
And he's going to use his legs here.
And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Credit the tackle for loss to Harold Landry.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss.
Now Purdy.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Roger McCreary
Picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And the number 1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
Gonzalez's kick is good, and that will close the gap down to 14.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. This fielded right at the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On first down, Tannehill flushed out right. And brought in downfield by Burks. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side, and he is going to lose yardage here. Nick Bosa using that speed to get in there and break that play up. But sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw a defensive end right in his face because he looked up and he was right there. Didn't even have a chance to get going.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Tannehill. This will go to Henry out wide. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. He's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 41. Back to throw, Tannehill. Open man, Westbrook-Akine. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense for not tumbling to that one.
And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Over the middle, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They trail by 2 scores in the 4th, and their defense did its job getting the fumble recovery. And time to see what this offense has left in the tank. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Purdy looking to throw. This is Jennings. And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Throwing on 2nd down, it's Purdy. He'll get this to Jennings over the middle. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Purdy with it on 3rd and long. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That 3rd down conversion good for 23. 4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Purdy to throw it on 1st down. He's got Ayuk once again. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
This is McCaffrey on the give, and this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
The Niners on 3rd down. They've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards.
Just a simple run play there on 3rd and 1, but this D was up to the challenge and stopped them, bringing up 4th down.
Purdy, big 4th down play. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel.
And this is caught. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
They absolutely had to take some chances downfield trailing here in the 4th quarter.
So why not go 4 verticals, send the guys downfield, say make a play.
And that's one of the favored routes of offensive coordinators. You know why? Because receivers can be open at any point running that route.
Let's do this, man. Let's go. Let's go.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
That is caught by the tight end, Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. A great effort there. There to make the grab.
And the Niners have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. 1-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
Tannehill on 1st down.
And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tannehill.
And that's complete to Westbrook-Ikhine.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down.
9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Do your thing. Get him going, man.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry.
And this is going to be a Titans 1st down as good running gets them to about the 44.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Wesco, the tight end, making the catch. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Well, clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
A 1st down carry for Henry. And some room to maneuver.
127 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Over the middle, it's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. Here's Tannehill. Eluding the pressure right toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Tannehill. And right side, Henry's got it. And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4.
A short game that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They'll run for it with Henry. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The big back Derrick Henry held out of the end zone. And this 49er defense stands tall down near the goal line. So that's a decision that could loom pretty large here. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty.
But I actually like the call, and the reason? It shows me a head coach has faith in his team overall. First, on the offensive side, thinking they can pick it up, but also knowing that he has faith in his defense that if they don't, they'll go out there and stop them. I like the confidence he showed.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Purdy now to throw off the play action.
And this is caught. Jennings. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Purdy looking to throw on first down here. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Second and 10 from the 33-yard line. Purdy now to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Purdy. On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Titans are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long, got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
And the Titans getting set to go. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. After the interception, here's Tannehill. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the 50, it's Tannehill. He finds his man, complete. It's Phillips. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Again, it's Henry. Oh, he's got a little daylight. He's brought down to the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Get something together. Let's go.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Inside handoff, Henry. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Going with their tight end on 4th. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
Well, from where we sit, Brandon, it certainly appears that touchdown should just about do it.
Probably, but I'll play the analyst here. You know we've seen some crazier endings.
That we have, and maybe we should sit back and make sure we can stay around for the ride because it could be a wild finish.
And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here?
You just need any part of the football to break the plane. You don't need the whole football. It doesn't need to go over the entire white line. It's just that front part of the white line. And if you draw an imaginary plane going straight up, that's what they need to cross.
So take away the touchdown. The officials rule he did not get the football to break the plane.
It's 1st and goal and a late touchdown at this stage. Could officially salt this one away. Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.